Good morning. Okay, good morning. Hello, can everybody hear me? Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, I can hear you.
Oh, you can hear me. Thank you very much. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I was just talking to myself there. I didn't know whether you could hear me or not. Okay, good morning.
Okay.
I just put a little thing on the screen for you to get your brains working this morning. My little maths quiz. Oh, sorry. Did anybody? Oh, sorry. Let me just stop that. Whoops. Okay. Did anybody manage to complete the quiz or the ABCD? Get your brains working this morning. A little bit too early. ABCD. Anybody got any answers for me? What number is A and B and C and D? You can type it into the chat box. A, B, C, D. No takers, not any takers on this. Oh, I don't know what that keeps going. Sorry. Oh, I don't know why that. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry. Apologies for that. I think my timer keeps going on. Okay. Sorry, I'm just waiting for a few more people to come in into the meet. I think it's a few people from outside of school. Okay. Sorry about this. Okay, when they're from outside the school domain, I have to admit them into the Google Meet. Okay. Oh, right. We're going to go. I don't know why that keeps. Oh, that one. Sorry, that's why. And that one. And that one. Okay. Sorry about that. Right. So, good morning. I'll just give you the answers to this little brain teaser. So, anybody get the right answer? It's quite a difficult one because we're not using whole numbers. Okay. So, we will just. That will be the answer. So 1.5 plus 12.5, 1.5 plus 13.5, and 13.5 minus 3.5. So there are your answers. A little bit difficult. Even my fellow work colleagues did struggle on this one. Okay. So thank you for attending. Again, I'm just going to introduce myself. I don't know if anybody already knows who I am. So my name is Mr. Mogg, Anthony Mogg. I'm the EAL lead teacher for the primary phrase. I've been at ANS since 2017. And my education background is I've got a BA Honours 2-1 in education studies and teaching English as a foreign language. That was my BA honours degree in the UK. I studied at De Montfort University, 3 years BA honours degree. So today, this is going to be an overview of the intervention ANS provides for students who are experiencing challenges in learning the productive and receptive skills of the English language. Productive and receptive skills are the main 4 skills, like reading, writing, speaking, and listening. Okay, so we're going to be talking about the engage intervention first, and second, we're going to talk about the enhance intervention. And the enhanced intervention is what I teach year 5 and year 6. So as always, ANS is proud of its partnership with parents, and we always welcome feedback and comments. There's the email addresses, ans@amroysyn.ac.th. So if you want to have some feedback and comments, feel more than welcome to send your comments in. And Mr. Pine's looking rather swish there. Okay, so let's just go through a few little procedures. What to do if the Wi-Fi disconnects. We will close the meeting and then attempt to rejoin. Sound issues. Could you please make sure all your mics are in off mode? And if you do have a question during my presentation, then you can raise your hand. Okay, and I'll make sure that you've got your question clearly. And if you have any questions, again, you can put your hand up or into the chat room. Again, if you're driving to work, please be careful. And also, if it's distractible, you can turn off your camera if required. Okay, so again, this part of our presentation, we go through our guiding statements. And as always, we are leaders here. We are also, as we know, we are bilingual. We respect Thai culture. We are responsible in our core values, and respectful. And on that distribution, we're always curious and we're all communicative. These are the ones that we'll be using today. Again, I'll just introduce you to my EAL team. So from myself, Mr. Morgan Tobin, he's in year 3 and 4. Predominantly year 3 and 4. Sometimes I am actually taking some year 4s this cycle. And Mr. Burley, he's year 1. And Mr. Josh Green, who's new to the team this year, he's doing very well indeed. He's year 2. And then we've got Miss Marie, who's our LSA for year 3 to 6. She's been at the school since 2014. She's very, very experienced, and she's an amazing teacher. She comes up with some great ideas, and she's the LSA lead teacher as well for the LSAs. So this is the team. There are 5 of us all together, and everything's working really well. We've got a really good team, really strong team as well. So let's talk about what Engage is. So Engage, our intervention Engage program, is designed for children, predominantly year 1s and year 2s, who are new to English or have very limited ability. The course or the cycle is between 6 and 10 weeks, and they are 2 times 40-minute sessions. Now, these 40 minutes are part of the school day. They are not after-school activities. So it doesn't affect any after-school activities. And the two 40-minute sessions are purely the students are taken out from the homeroom teachers' overseas lessons. Nothing to do with the Thai lessons. Thai lessons remain 100%. The 2 lessons we take them out of, the students will be either a theme or maybe none of the core subjects will be affected. So in year 1s and year 2s, they will be predominantly English lessons will not be affected. So be more the lesser core subjects. Now, next year, there will be 4 cycles. this year we've done 3 cycles, but at the beginning we did a boost. A boost is for previous students who were on intervention the previous academic year. However, we found that year ones who were requiring intervention immediately, they were exempt from this. So we've changed the policy. We are now going to include year ones immediately into the course of the new academic year. The heavy focus is on speaking and listening, on phonics, and base classroom management language. So as this is like year ones and year twos, we know that their phonics need to be really improved. Many are introduced to the English language for the first time. So the best way to start is through the phonics. It's very structured and progressive in conjunction with HR lessons, homeroom lessons. So we really work with the homeroom teachers of what they're teaching in their classroom. They will share the slides with their intervention teacher, and they work collaboratively together. And so it works really well. So each teacher knows what the other teacher is doing. So that is our engage intervention. So again, what is enhance? Again, it's between 6 and 10 week course, and again, 2 times 40-minute sessions. The 6 and 10 week course are predominantly is between term times now. So we try and end it at each term. So this term has been a very short term. So it's been a 6-week intervention course. The one after Christmas, after the term 2.2, will then, I think it'll be a 6 or 7 week cycle. Again, we're introducing the 4 cycles per year next year. And these students are from year 3 to year 6. Again, we're in small groups or one-to-one for more tailored teaching, supporting students who are less able in specific skill sets of the English language. Lots of the year 3s and year 6 is very heavily grammar. We do concentrate on a lot of the grammar rules and sentence structure. And again, we work in conjunction with the homeroom teachers. So homeroom teachers will be sharing their slides. We can pre-teach what the students will learn in the homeroom teaching. So they have a better understanding of what is going on in the classroom. Lots of the students who are finding English challenging can sometimes get a little bit lost in the homeroom teacher's lesson. So this is when they come out to the interventions. We slow everything down, and then we make sure that they understand completely what is needed in the classroom for them. So that is enhance. So how do we know? Oh, sorry. And each enhance and each gate, there is an additional cost involved. Okay, this is on top of your initial school fees. So I think normally for a 6-week intervention will probably be about 7,500 baht for 6 weeks. Okay, so if it's longer, then the cost does increase a little bit. Okay, unfortunately, we're trying to work on this to remove costs, but at the moment it just seems that with COVID and everything, it was put on the back burner a little bit. So we are working on that to abolish the costs involved for enhance and engage. So how do we refer students for intervention? So first of all, like this week, as the intervention cycle is coming to an end, I will go and discuss with the homeroom teacher. We have discussions about the pupil, about the progression in the homeroom, and also the progression in their intervention lessons. Again, it's receptive and productive skills. We're looking at all 4 skills. So maybe 3 of the skills they're doing really well, or maybe the reading isn't so strong. So this is where we'll pick up on maybe an intervention is required for improving reading skills. Now we'll go on to the CAP 4s. I think you all may have heard of the CAP 4s. All students, I think it's year 1s to, or maybe to year 6s, have to take a CAP 4. Now, these are really, really good and quite important for how a student learns. So we'll just look at a CAP 4. Okay, these are, students are introduced to CAP 4. So it's about how do you like to learn. These CAP 4s are an assessment which then homeroom teachers will use in their data to see how well students are progressing. Okay, so this is what the students get to see. So students are introduced to this already, a CAP 4 assessment. We'll go to some of the tasks. So some of the tasks are shapes and patterns, words, numbers, generating and formatting visual images. So we'll do some examples. So this is a CAP 4. All the results are recorded and used for developing a child's progression in the classroom about their ability to learn. Okay, so the CAP 4 consists of verbal reasoning, quantitative reasoning, non-verbal reasoning, and sabbatical reasoning. Okay, it is a timed assessment which we complete in condition. Okay, so I won't go too much into a CAP 4, but I'll show you some examples of some practice questions. Okay, so year 3, 2 assessments, and year 4 to 6, 3 assessments. So these are some of the examples of what the CAP 4s consist of. So there's many different parts to their learning. So one of these will be thinking with words. So they have to find 3 words are presented which are similar in some ways. So we have to find out what is the correlation between these words. So we would have snow would be that winter snow, weather, dark or night. Okay, so on there we have to think about, well, which words are with each which go together. And again, this one. So we've got tall, feel, think, new, and angry. So angry is the one, because happy, sad, and frightened, and then the next one will be angry. So it's an emotion. Okay, again, we've got cow, milk, and chicken. So which one would they pick? So these are ones they have to think about: cow, milk, chicken, and an egg. Okay, so these are just examples of what is in their CAP 4 test. Okay, now they do with numbers. So 1 to 2, 5 to 10, 4 to will be 8. And again, 5 to 4, 8, 7, 3 to 2. So just getting number patterns here. So again, all the data from the CAP 4s are recorded. Unfortunately, they are not shared with parents at the moment. This is just for in-house, so we can find the results of the students' ability to learn. So again, this comes from, and when we do our assessments for the Bug Club assessments as well. So again, we do another assessment with the students. This Bug Club assessment is about comprehension. So they'll read the story. This is just an example. And once they've read the story, they'll have they put their answers. Again, these are all recorded for the teachers to use when they're doing their assessments. And this is good for when we're doing our intervention referrals. So once we've got the data, once we have the data from the Bug Club assessments, and the CAP 4s, this is when we can think about putting the students on intervention. Okay, how do we record? So again, we record our students. We do an assessment framework for schools. Okay, and I'll just show you how we use our assessment for schools. Okay, so in the EAL department, in our intervention department, we use a scheme, a framework, which we use to track the students' progression. So in the primary, and also in the we use the band A's in the Engage as well. So band A is probably the lowest. So band A1 is the lowest we can get. So all the bands follow each other. So once you get to band A10, then you'll go on to a B1. And again, B1 is the lowest category in B1. And then you'll work your way up to a B10. And these will then go into probably band Bs and band Cs will be your year 3s, probably year 4s, and then band Cs and band Ds, as students progress, they will go up into the band Ds. And these are just for intervention students. I must reiterate, these are just for intervention students that are on the Engage and Enhance program. So again, we've got all the 4 skills. We've got listening, same format, band A, B, C, D, and E. Speaking, we've got reading and viewing, and then the writing. Okay, so again, each student is tracked on their progression. So let's have a look at the trackers. So this is an example of an EAL assessment tracker from a student. Okay, so one of the students, for reasons for we're not allowed to give students names out, so I've changed it for an example here. So the student, this is one of my students, is on a C3. So listening is on a C3. So you can get the gist of unfamiliar and more complex English. Now, when we do our progress, we then set them targets. So from the targets, then we'll set to a C4. So if once they can complete C3, they'll go to C4. And we've done this throughout the term 1.2 and 2.1. And then by the end of next week, because the assessments are finished next week, hopefully, once I've done my review on them, they should have gone to a target of D1 and maybe gone to probably D2 or D3. Okay, and this is the same with their speaking. So some are very strong at speaking, and the reading and viewing, and again, their writing. So again, all are detailed and all are put onto the tracker for individual students. Okay, it's a really good way of keeping and monitoring their progression. And then at the end of each cycle, you'll get a detailed report. Okay, so this will come in the form of a PDF file, which will be downloaded, which we send through iSAMS. So a student's name will be put on here. This is the end of cycle 2, which we're just finishing now. We put their name here, and then we have a it's either confident. Sorry. Is either confident, shows improvement, or he still struggles or still struggling. Okay, so we have lots of different things we look at when we're writing our reports. Okay, so there's probably, I think it's about 10 or 12 different areas that we are showing that your student is confident, and each time, each cycle, this may change. So maybe struggling in cycle 1, yet when it comes to cycle 2, is showing improvement. Okay, and this is what we use at the end of each cycle. And also at the end of each cycle, we do write a personal note about the student. Okay, we like to give a more formative and very kind of a comment which reflects their learning as well. So we're very honest in here. We put that maybe finding it still challenging, maybe they need to focus more, maybe producing a little bit more, the handwriting skills may need to improve, but on the whole, we put this to the parents so they know that it's more about the individual themselves rather than a generic form. Okay. So also, I think after my presentation here, I think Mr. Davis is then linked to the SEN side. So I don't know if lots of you are going to wait for Mr. Davis. Maybe some of the things I've said today in my presentation that Mr. Davis will also reflect on as well. Okay, so are there any questions that you would like? I know I've spoken a lot, but I just wanted to get through about what intervention really is and how we keep monitoring the students, making sure that they progress well and they're not left behind. And so far, I've been here 5 years in the EAL department, and I'm very pleased in the way the school's gone forward with the EAL department and how we're tracking students. So basically, they don't fall through the gap. Okay, so everything is monitored through the homeroom teachers, and then also pass through to the EAL department. So we try and monitor every student in the school from their assessments and from their work in the class. Okay, are there any questions you'd like to ask about the engage or enhance intervention? No? Are you okay? Everybody okay? I don't know if any of your children are on intervention with me or in the with Mr. Morgan or Mr. Green or Mr. Burley. So yeah, okay. I noticed that my child needs improvement on speaking and pronunciation. Okay, I'm not sure whether your child is on intervention or whether he's not being flagged or referred to. Again, if it's referred to, we're doing the assessments. You can request, yes, if you have a word with your homeroom teacher or send your homeroom teacher an email saying that you would like there is a request. We normally, what we try and do is only have the intervention children who are finding it very challenging. However, as we know, the whole school is a English as additional language. We know they are all EAL learners. It just depends what level of EAL learners they are. Some are very strong learners. Some parents predominantly speak English with their children at home. Some children leave school and will only hear English when they return to school. So they all have different levels because how long they're exposed to English when they're outside of school. But you can, I say request, I'd say send your homeroom teacher an email with maybe some concerns. If they feel that your child could have an assessment or would benefit from intervention, then by all means, we will put them on intervention. We do have a lot of parents who are very, very supportive in the intervention. They're very supportive. And some students are on the borderline of being taken off because we do our end of cycle reports. We do, and many parents are saying, please can my son or daughter stay on intervention? We really like it. So yeah, parents are very, very supportive in this as well. Again, we've got a very strong team, and we're all. Our main aim is to get the attainment levels up quickly for the students, so they can return to the homeroom classes and participate in lessons more freely. So yes, any other questions? Yeah, so just send an email if you have got concerns over your son or daughter, that they just send an email to your homeroom teacher or even to myself, and then I can follow it up with the homeroom teacher as well. Because homeroom teachers are extremely busy, and this is where we can come in and say, you know, I've had an email from a parent that they would like their daughter or son or daughter to attend intervention. This is when we do our referrals. You know, I will go and look at some of their work. I will bring them in for an assessment, and then we'll make a decision from there. Okay. Any more questions? Thank you all very much for joining. I just wanted to enlighten you about the Engage and Enhance program at MNIC. Now, the intervention is during school, during 7:40 to 2:35. So it does not affect any after-school clubs. Again, the intervention lessons are not affecting core subjects. It may be the student may be taken out of a theme lesson or a PSHE lesson. Okay, we try not to take them out of any English or science or maths lessons. Okay, and definitely none are taken out of Thai lessons. So it's just all the overseas. Okay, thank you very much, everybody. And thank you very much for. Okay, yes.
For the enhanced lessons, is it in the class or after school?
No, so where I am in my classroom now, I have my intervention lessons are based on very small groups. So we group the children according to their challenges. So if we've got probably 3 students from different classes, they will come a group of 3, and we will focus on their reading skills or writing skills. What we try and do is group them with together what they're needing. Okay, if someone's very good at speaking, we won't put them in a group who require additional reading. Okay, so we try and put them together, and it's all during school day. So again, we won't take them out of any Thai subjects. We only take students out of non-core subjects. So it will be a theme lesson or a PSHE lesson. Okay, all out classes they will go to attend all out classes. They do their swimming, they do their art, they do their music. So none of this, or PE, none of that is affected. It's just the lessons that are not the core subjects. So the science, maths, English, the students will not be taken out of them. But when they do come to it with intervention, more often than not, the homeroom teacher is sharing the slides that they are missing. So we'll work with them, and maybe at a slower rate, because the intervention students are finding English challenging. So we really, really focus on getting their attainment levels up quickly. A lot of patience. This is so in homeroom classes, sometimes they could be a little bit lost with what's happening in the lesson. So this is when the intervention, we take the children out, and then we can work very closely with them. Are there any other questions? This depends on how many weeks, the cost for intervention. So I think Engage, I think is slightly more. I think it's cost slightly more. However, it depends on how many weeks, because the cost is per week. So if it's 6 weeks, I think it's 1,300 baht per week. And that's for 2 lessons. So every week, if it's an 8-week, If it's 8 weeks intervention, then obviously the cost is higher. If it's a 5 weeks, the cost is lower. I think, and the Engage, I think is 1,600 baht per week. And again, it depends on how many weeks are in the cycle. I think this cycle is, I'm just doing the costing now. I think this next cycle is 6 weeks. So after Christmas, 2.2, it is a 6-week cycle. So that 6 weeks will be 6 weeks times 1,300 for enhance. So I think it's that 7,800 baht for 6 weeks. And again, we track the students' progress. We're getting their students' attainment levels high as we can within them 6 weeks. Thank you very much. Any more questions? Okay. Thank you very much for attending, everybody. It's been nice to share and again give you an insight into the intervention that the students are acquiring at ANS. Again, so I've been here 5 years. I've really seen a progression in the school about how we're using the intervention procedure. It's really good. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, and have a nice day. Thank you very much. Sawasdee krap. Thank you.